Wait up, I'm not
Okay, this is
finished.
George. That's just the way it goes. Welcome to Truck Driver Nation Productions. Like we could care. All right. So what we're discussing tonight, and this is a good one. We were sitting here thinking about it, trying to find something else to talk about. And this is exactly what our problem was tonight. It's the hidden problems with living in Cebu, Philippines, that nobody talks about. And that's going to be that city behind you. That's literally the CCLEX. And obviously, that's actually Cebu that you're seeing there in the background. And there is absolutely nothing there. I mean, it's not, when you get here, everything, oh, wow. But once you actually live here, it's, oh, nah, because there ain't nothing to do. The malls are the malls. This ain't the United States. I'm gonna tell you, there ain't no, high, was it called high, whatever golf, where you can knock off balls off the levels. There is nothing. There is basically just a lot, my personal opinion. It should be actually in a Bible, but they're corrupt. Okay. It's a third world country. I don't know what they do with the money we send them. That bridge behind there was actually CCLX. My understanding that was money given by the World Bank or through China. Oh, was it Japan? Who gave them that money for that bridge? Remember the CCLX thing? But some of them got bridges, they're confident money to help these people. It's will and dealing. But that being said, we have basically we sit at the house. We're working. We do freight dispatching with truckdrivernation.com. But that being said, we're teaching students. So that does keep me occupied because I'm teaching fellow Americans on how to be freight dispatchers and work from home.
Because nobody will pay American dollar
Yeah. Yeah.
in the Philippines.
And the problem is, oh yeah, you're not gonna make American dollars here. It's a peso. You ain't about to do that. But that being said, when we actually do this, we sit at the house and we get cabin fever. Now, I never even asked her. You do know what cabin fever is, right?
Yep.
Okay.
We just
So
had one this morning.
she was crazy this morning. Ain't got shit to do with me. Okay. But she was fatigued. I'll give her that. I'll give her that. But anyways, well, she's having a mental episode, and the psychiatrists don't even live here. But that being said, that's one of the problems. So when we're looking at things, I want you to give me your perspective of what our week looks like, what the routine has become for us here, um, and what we try to occupy ourselves with to keep ourselves busy. Tell me what you know.
Well, I got
Co-host.
I got my own routine, feeding my animals, going back to paperwork, touching base with Belle, and he has his own routine.
Okay, who's Belle? She's gonna give you things that you're supposed to figure out. Okay, so just prepare for that. Who's Belle?
Belle is our assistant.
I don't know. I'm expecting her to say something. I guess she's not. So the point was she was supposed to tell us about her routine and what causes the problems. Let's try it again.
There's nothing much that causes problem, fatigue, burnout, cabin fever.
Okay, and you want out, then what happens? You want to leave the house, we go get on the motorcycle, and what
We just
happens?
pick up food and then back home.
Okay, and then, oh my God. See, that's the difference between Americans. That right there will burn you out too. So the point being is, when you go in here, there's nothing to do. All the places that they have are very remedial. The bowling alleys are not great. There's just no high quality in a lot of the things that you would think that we're spending a lot of money to entertain ourselves with. Obviously, there's no guns, so there's no going hunting. You can go fishing, but you have to go further out. But they've hit the agricultural aspect of it. They've hit it pretty hard. Um, the beaches, all this thing here, they want to call them beaches. It's not beaches the way we know beaches. It's a lot of coral reef. There's not a lot of sand places. There's no entertainment. They're not setting up stages on the beach here. There ain't no beach like that. So there's a place where sand just happened to pile up. But you have to understand this is a ring of fire. So, outside the typhoons and the earthquakes, it's pretty boring. With those, all that stuff, power's going to go out and everything else. Sunsets, I haven't seen one beautiful sunset since I've been here. That's not how the sun lays across the horizon when it goes down. Another thing is cheap living. Because this is paradise versus reality. Cheap living, for us to live the way I live, it's not necessarily, it's cheaper, but it's not cheap. People that are living a minimalistic life, it's probably cheap for them. But I'm raised on a farm, so we got animals. And we've actually started cutting back and giving them away because we're looking at her visa being done soon. So obviously we'll be extraditing ourselves out of here. And island vibes, what do you think about the island vibes?
Same, same.
Yeah, it's not like, okay, if you go down to South America, okay, the Caribbean islands, okay, you know, they play music all day. The street life is really alive. They've got boardwalks and all that stuff. And even during the day, you know, there's always that feel of celebratory type of feeling because people bebopping the music. All the stores are bebopping music. Yeah, some of the sound systems are not the best. Even here, that's not the best. Even though you believe it or not, they love karaoke here. Love it. But I don't really feel like there's a place I can hang out and enjoy the music and where it don't sound like somebody dumped a glass of coffee in the speaker cone of the sound system. Um, say, as far as it looking amazing online, boy, them drones really help out. They give it where it's all blue water and everything, but then you find out you're eating out of huts that may not necessarily always be sanitary. The quality of food, you really have to be on guard. And I know a lot of people are going to hate me saying all this. Well, welcome aboard. I'm not going to lie in my own country, and I won't lie to my own people, so why am I going to lie for this? Um, that being said, give me something. Tell me something. Try to be a co-host. Tell me what you think about something.
I really got not a lot of positive to say with this subject. There are some places that have these, but that means you have to actually find them. That's why if you're a tourist, you have to have your itinerary ready. That way you're not having to find them because they're not easy to find because Philippines is actually not just Cebu. Philippines is really like to me, it's confirmed it is polluted.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Now, when we're talking about going out, okay, I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions so you'll get the feedback. I don't want to be one-sided story. So when we went and saw the monkeys down in Oslo, what'd you think of that?
That was fun.
Yeah. It was actually more fun than all those little Filipino old ladies had the monkeys under control. They knew who was who, and the monkeys listened to them old ladies. So that was kind of entertaining.
It wasn't a lot of monkeys like that place. Oslo is good, but you cannot
Yeah.
live there. That's what we were just talking about as just earlier today. So there are places that are actually good, but it's not ideal to live into.
Yeah, Oslo, had a medical condition and we couldn't get the right medical care. I was actually worried about it, but we managed to make it through that.
Because
Um,
if you have emergency, the clinic there, it ain't gonna work.
it's a level -3, so be advised, you know, you better bring your own manual airway, your own oxygen tank, everything. You probably need to pack it in. So people think I'm crazy. Why'd I get an EKG monitor? I was trained in medicine. So that's the reason I get this stuff. O2 sat, temperature, all that stuff. And we stockpile on certain meds, you know, baseline stuff for anaphylaxia. I don't have an EpiPen, but you know what I mean? I do try to be proactive in that sense. Okay. So the um, what that is whale shark. So they got those down in Oslo. That draws a lot of people down there. But it was literally limited just to that. It was like we're going on a boat, we're going to go see these whale sharks. But other than like say if you went out, you did your morning thing, there was really nothing in that town to be the secondary kind of relaxed thing. Okay, today's my adventurous day. Then let's just since we went and saw the whale sharks, hey, let's sit here on the beach and chill and drink beer. None of that. Okay, it's not developed like that. It's just you're going on a boat, they're gonna dump you in the water, you're gonna see the whale sharks, gonna pack you back up, come back to shore. Um, let's see. As far as cabin fever is real, after a while, everything feels repetitive. Oh yeah, very repetitive. You know, even when we take trips to certain other parts of the island, it's just the same old thing. A lot of they say it's supposed to be real touristy and everything. I don't. I know what tourism is from the United States. Ain't nowhere close to that. This ain't St. Charles Street. This is not going to be down there on Orange Beach during spring break. This is not going to be down in Miami. or any of the places that we get drawn to, like Daytona, Disney World, or any of that type of stuff.
The subject is mainly for Cebu. There are a lot of islands that we actually haven't been to yet. We did already roam around almost the whole Cebu, but we didn't stop over to explore in there, you know.
Now, Dumageddon, I kind of liked it, but it was still just shops. The nightlife was a little bit better. They had a whole market area where you can sit there and get massages in the chairs. They got vendors out there. Everybody's trying to sell something because they need money bad. Um, Now, obviously, there wasn't a $10 hot dog, but you know what I mean? But there's still, you can see, obviously people trying, they were doing handcrafts, like bracelets. In fact, I got one on here. In fact, I got yours on my wrist too, don't I? Or did I? But I put on here that was from particularly one night when I was down there. Um, but the food culture is very limited. Even when we went to, the thing is, we went to Manila and it was okay, but it was just really about food. It was a city of life. Um, but when you're coming to Cebu, I just want you to understand, very limited. The malls are basically where people go hang out. It is a cattle herd during the weekends. We try to go in the evenings during during the week
When the
in
mall
the
is supposed
evenings.
to close.
Yeah. Actually, we do. We go when the malls are actually back because everybody will have nothing to do and they're piled in there. And there's only so many things that you're going to need at your house. So you're not just walking through buying stuff, but I'm not a people watcher. The movie theaters, what do you think about the cinemas? And now, the sit in the cinemas is great because you got recliners and everything else. So let you bring food in, your blankets, your pillows. We sleep through the movies. And let me tell you, it's really cold inside that theater. But
So bring your blanket.
yeah, but the movies were no good. It wasn't like they were really good movies. Like I told Maria, when we get back to the United States, oh my gosh, we got so many movies to watch. Movies that we can't even get access to here because you're outside the United States. And even through Amazon, like Amazon Prime on the movies, Netflix, it's some of the worst choice of movies that I've ever seen because it's, you got Southeast Asian stuff in there and everything, but it's not a lot of good content. Let's see what else we got. After a while, okay, same malls, same restaurants, same road trips. Literally, we like doing road trips because I don't like interacting with the public. But our road trips are the same old things. We went up through the mountain terrain, and we've done it more than once. And it's just there's nothing up there. It'd be different if you had somewhere have scenic views. They don't even have a place where you can pull in. If you had a camper or something, relax. It's
Not
not.
even the airport.
Yeah, the
Sometimes
airport.
sometimes we want to just stay there, park, and just watch the
The
planes go
airplanes
by,
coming in and out.
but can't even do that.
No, we just don't have that. There's nothing to, especially on long-term residents, expats, and remote workers. Man, that's where we're at. Okay. Now, if you've never been here, it might be interesting to you to be exposed to it, but to actually get to know the rhythm of the society and the political views and the social economic status and the psychosocial aspect of the cultural aspect where the way that they think, it takes time. And I'm not impressed.
This is why if you're backpackers or you're travelings, a lot of them go to not hotels. Instead, they go to backpackers places because
What
they
are they
can
called?
share what hostel or
Hostel.
backpackers places, you know.
We tried one.
Um, but if
Okay.
you're introvert, there are hotels. On the other hand, if you're on your own, it's just boring.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, backpackers, go to backpackers to lofts so they can actually engage with other backpackers, you know.
Traffic kills motivation.
Oh yeah.
Going anywhere becomes exhausting. Explain that one.
Every time he wants to, like, where do you want me to take you? Where do you want us to go? Where are we going today? We get nowhere to go because even though we want to go somewhere, we get stuck in the traffic.
And when you get home, you're like, oh God, thank God I'm home. Oh my God.
Literally miss the
Baby,
miss
let's
that.
make something and turn the TV on. I am exhausted from that crap. And it should have just have been a simple, we're not talking about long distances neither.
Oh.
That's what you spend 3 hours just to get outside the garbage, okay? To finally get out into some kind of remnants of country. And by the time you're there, you're like, you know, What do you want to do? And the thing is, in the back of your mind, you're going, oh my God, I got to go all the way back through that to get back home. So, and the thing is, if you live outside the city, now you don't have the basic stuff because being, outside the United States, I need to where I can get the export stuff. Because the food, most food, I'm just not a fan of it. What else we got? Sometimes it's easier just to stay home.
All the time. It's not sometimes.
Yeah. But like you do, you get cabin fever, and there's nowhere to go. Anywhere that we mainly go, there's so many people that are, I'm not saying disfranchised, they're just poor. But thing is, it draws on us because we work a lot, and people don't realize the money we make, we actually really work for, but it wears you out.
If you don't want to stay home because it still catches up on you, you want to go for a walk or do something entertaining rather than just staying home. But to me, I'm good staying home. Besides, we get tired.
And the amount of dirt that's in the air, not well, let's
Yeah.
say we got rid of the pollution, just the amount of dirt that gets slung in the air, and you're covered in it. So you have to come home and take a shower.
That's one of the reasons, as much as I love seafoods, we don't eat nearly any seafoods because just like now we just got home from J Park and you can literally see the dirt, the garbage that just makes you don't want to eat seafoods. No.
Because it's blowing in the air. They got the carts out beside the road, but all that dirt is being blown in the air and it's just settling across all that food. And with that, that's a hell of a vector for transmission of bacteria and all kinds of other stuff. You know what I mean?
And a lot of seafood restaurants here don't even clean the intestines. They don't
Yeah, they
remove
don't clean the
those.
skull out. They don't
Yeah.
devein it. And she's got a deveiner, and she just showed me, oh, she's got it. So I didn't know she even had it. So I'm gonna show her how to devein the shrimp because she's got to eat seafood. Um, it's just she needs it for her health because she has thyroid kind of thing going on.
I think Cebu is good only for um temporary.
What do you think? I think maybe 10 days max, even if that, I don't know.
Yeah, a week or two.
Yeah. Because even when we went to Manila 1 week, we were ready to come home. It was just nothing. You know, if I'm at home, right? So this is why the reason people don't feel me on this. Okay, country. I can go and I can literally pull on the side of the road, camp, and expect to see elk, moose, deer, eagles, owls, all that wildlife, and they're wild too. Okay, so don't feed the bears. But in fact, they warn you against it. That's the reason you got steel, dumpsters for them bears because I mean, they'll track you down and break into your stuff. But the thing is, I can go sit there and not be bothered. I can go sit on top of a mountain with a camper. I've literally laid on top of mountains on the rocks and just slept there. I didn't even have a blanket. You wake up the next morning going, oh shit. But the thing is, that's an actual experience to me to know. And of course, you take blankets next time. We don't always go that dumb. But that being said, you know what I mean? We ain't nothing like waking up and not having no hot chocolate or something because you decided to really rough it. You get your 8 players ATV, and you're out there. And but that being said, when you're driving across the desert at night, you see all the snakes and the little mice, the little desert mice and stuff like that, bing, 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 bing across the thing. They're out hunting, looking for some meal because ain't McDonald's ain't out there. But that being said, you don't get that. Okay, a majority of the wildlife is dead. They've killed everything off. There's no way that this place didn't used to be covered up with wildlife. The human condition has wiped it so clear and clean. But that being said, that's one of the disadvantages of this. There's not, we don't see a lot of, now they got cockatoos, got cockatiels, they got all kinds of tropical birds, but you don't see them because they've murdered them out, captured them, whatever they did. And now they're very limited to some of the further out regions, but we have been to the further out regions and I've seen the water buffaloes and people dry their rice or their corn literally on the highway. You got 2 lane highway and they'll take 1 lane and they'll use it to dry the product out before they take it to market. And but the thing is, there's just not a lot of other stuff. I mean, it's just you know, if I
Our
decide to go to the
government here.
mountains and I'm going to trout fish, I can go there. They'll have stuff you can rent out to go down here to the water to trout fish. They just don't
Our
have.
government here, even not just the the consumers or us being the citizens don't really give that much care to keep the animals alive for the future.
But they got enough dogs with no type of shots and everything running around with, red mange and stuff like that, that they're better off just shooting the animal. I know people say, oh my God, I can't believe you say that. I'm from the country. Okay. If an animal's not going to make it, and it's better just to kill them and let them walk through their life and suffer. It's not you know, I mean, humane. I love animals. I love animals. I
This
think they're
is
beautiful.
this is why you can only go to particular locations or places when you have itinerary. One of them is Oslo because that's where you can only find that whale shark. You can't go to anywhere else because they reserve it only for tourism. Then the rest of the places are just downhill.
Yeah, and you're going to tell me there whale sharks are in more than one place than Oslo. So they probably kill them off in other spots. Who knows?
Yeah.
But that being said, that's kind of a drawback. And now we're not trying to give you a bad insight about this. I'm just being realistic. So when you show up, and now we're only doing this on Cebu. Okay, this is the Cebu area. That's the one we're reflecting on here. The next thing is going to be um, Island life is mentally, yeah, I can feel mentally small, and it is. You literally you go to one end, you went to the other end, you went to the other side, and you've done it. You've seen the puppet show for where you're at, and that in that aspect, we've done it. There's not a lot to do. There's no real developments. There's no, great tourist place or his landmarks. It's just not there.
And as much as I wasn't exposed outside before, now I'm just starting to get exposed. Eve, because you feel mentally small, but you try to communicate or engage with the others. Majority of them are just, you can't even communicate with them. They become hostile or they just don't want to engage with you. They'd rather be just play with their phone.
Now, this is some of the points, and she's right. They do. They're buried up in them phone, and I literally walk over them. If you can't wake up and stay, I'm standing there. I will ply you over. I mean, wake up. But what we also say, so I'm not just being negative. You do start feeling trapped or in a box. Obviously, if you're from a large city, that type of area. I'm from the United States. I mean, we have every type of environment there, and a lot of our wildlife is whether it's protected or it's on a reserve or Bureau of Land Management or a national park, we do have that blessing. So I'm really grateful for that, and I'm grateful that the United States has implemented that to protect
But
our wildlife.
the people that engage with us um are foreigners, travelers, not the locals.
But a lot of them remember this. I've then found this out, and it's not. A lot of them have an agenda. Okay. They're not, hey, where you come from? You talk about whatever, and it just be a conversation, and people park their ways. Lots of them are actually hurting because they didn't come here prepared. And then some of them are defensive. I mean, hell, they must be running from the law. They must be on the top 10 most wanted or something. Me, I'm from the South. I come from a family, everybody's open. We don't hide our lives. Why should you have to hide your lives? Don't do dumb shit to begin with. But that being said, I mean, it's like my mother. I can go to Walmart before we even get through the Walmart line. That woman knows everything about me and all my brothers from the time we went to elementary to where we're at now in our lives. She's an auctioneer when it comes to talking. But that being said, Maria's right though about that. So now the social side, the relationships, the community matter more than activities. You can't really get involved in the community because they look at you a lot differently. Not that they won't say hey to you and stuff, but anything you're going to do, you're going to have to support the effort because they don't have money for nothing to begin with. Um, Cebu is more about people than entertainment.
Because there's no entertainment here.
Yeah,
There's no
I think that up there
activities.
is a misleading quote.
There's no activities. There's no money, even if there's activities. Hence, there's no entertainment. So, yeah, I
We
totally
entertain
agree.
each other. I know that sounds weird. We literally are each other's, best resource for that social connection. Um, because
That's
we understand each other, but we also know the surroundings. So that's the reason we gravitate toward each other.
that's why even though um I viewed our investments, our dogs, our animals, even before we bought it. I already anticipated like it could be a problem in the future. On the other hand, there's nothing here. There's nothing more entertaining than our dogs.
Yeah. Like, got up this morning, had an incubator outside. They dug out the flower beds. They chewed the incubator to hell and back. All the little twirling wheels are all over the place.
And your slippers.
And I'm going, and my slippers, both of them. They didn't, at least they didn't do one. They equally chewed them both up.
Balanced.
And I went to go get the gun and everything to shoot them, and I realized that we don't have guns. So they knew what to do in the right country to protect their own lives. And needless to say, they evacuated the front porch, the front yard, and the front walkway like it was a fucking fire,
Killed the baby
and ran to the
chickens.
back and left, yeah, and left the murdered baby chicken laying there on the ground.
So we don't need other people being hostile. Instead, we have our own entertainment in our
Yeah.
own safety zone.
And then they're all blaming each other. I was like, yeah, uh-huh. But that's the way that's our life, the way we've kind of built the time that we're having to pass it before we get our visa. And oh my gosh, come home. I'm going to kiss the ground. I'm going to kiss the ground. She's going to do a TikTok on it too, so it's on here.
We've reached out to the congressman
Yeah, no, we actually had to reach out to the senator for the state senator's office.
last night, so we'll give you an update about that
Yeah,
if they actually do
the U.S.
take action.
NCIS didn't send the thing to the called National NVC, which is National Visa Center. So we've had to escalate it and escalate it some more. So we hope that we're getting closer. Um, but
So
don't worry, I'm bringing her back to the United States. She don't know how to drive, so I'm sorry.
I'm
I tried.
sorry in advance to you all.
Just remember,
No, we try for me to actually learn, but again, there's not a lot of places
yeah,
here that I can actually drive. There was only one place where I had
the
the chance to
graveyard.
drive, yeah, and
That's not. She ain't gonna tell you. It was the funeral, the
the
graveyard.
name, but yeah, the guard was being an ash, so even that's gone. Now let's go to the positives. There's actually positives.
Well, that's a mighty short list. Peaceful lifestyle. I don't think peaceful.
I think if we're in the house, it is peaceful
Yeah,
somehow.
put the concertina wire up, turn out all the
Go
lights.
outside our compound. I can tell you a lot more going the outside, even whatever. I don't want to go through that, but
What happens is when you first get here, you want to talk to the culture.
oh, you want to go?
But thing is, once you get established here, you don't want to social network with everybody out there because it's just,
And
I feel for them. I really do. I'm gonna be straight. I feel for them, right? And she carries snacks on the motorcycle, whatever, so she can hand stuff out. But thing is, everybody always wants money. We're not coughing up cash. And I don't know what that, I don't even know why we don't want to cough up cash. It's just one of those things you've always been taught to do, give them food before money. But
I have a story about not giving cash, and it's just literally a penny. But that's how I learned. I used to work.
she says penny, and hold on, we got to translate. We got Americans in these. Penny means a small amount of money.
Oh, they don't know
Or
that?
penny, we think penny. So,
Okay. But I used to, because I was just new in Cebu back then. That was a long time ago. I gave, I think, $1 to the kid, and I saw that kid buying crap. And here, the problem with the kids is for some reason they sniff rugby, which is like an addiction or some crap. And I didn't like
is that
that.
like a glue?
Yeah.
Okay, so they're glue sniffing.
Snooze glue.
Okay.
Yeah.
They did the same mess in the United States.
I don't know what's the story behind, but for some reason I didn't like that impression. Like that was the money I worked hard for. Instead of you buying something that can feed your tummy, you're buying some nonsense and all of that. So I stopped. And for some reason, apparently, there's actually like a Republic Act that if you give them money, you can get prison or something. I don't really know yet. I guess I have to study about that. But yeah, there is Republic Act that you're not supposed to be handing money to them. So, rather than giving them money or penny, we have biscuits, crackers, or junk, or sometimes I give them actual meal, and George will be like, "You literally gave them."
And we have actually taken them inside and bought them a meal. If it's not in the city, we're more apt to do that because When you give one thing, dude, it's like you kick the red wasp nest. Dude, they come at you. Yeah, you've been marked. So yeah.
Where did you get that? That one, and the
Oh
one.
yeah. You see that white one? And how hard is the flag me?
Because I can understand, because again, we were poor, but no, even when we were kids. So I get that, but it's not
Nature?
peaceful being outside for me.
No, no. It drains me. Nature everywhere, that's not factual for here. It's a concrete jungle to some degree. Um, Lower stress than many countries, only if I don't know how to approach that one. What do you think? Because she hasn't been to the United States. I've been there. I'm always, look, I stay in the country in the United States. I don't see it being lower stress for me.
I think it's the opposite. I think being in many countries or other countries, it's lower stress. First, the pollution. Second, traffic. Third,
I think if I took her to a U.S. city, it would be higher stress. But since I'm country, she's not going to have to experience it. I'm not going to even expose her to that level of mentalities. It's not hating on nobody. You know what the cities are. You're in the same country that I'm from, so you know what actually goes on there.
even getting your necessities in shopping mall, it's difficult because there's no urgency. In the hospitals, there's still no urgency. So,
The
um,
lines are so long, and it takes for so long to get through the line.
even the convenience stores are always busy. So I don't see that being lower stress as a positive side.
Yeah, I
That's
don't
me
think
being
that.
Filipino. Hence, I'm a house cat.
She is a house cat, thank goodness. Simpler living. Yeah, simple living because you ain't got no choice. Okay. That just hit me like a bolt of lightning. That you ain't got shit to do. Okay. There ain't no way around that.
Even sometimes I say, do we need to buy that? Or you're just wanting to buy that? Babe, we got nothing in the house. That's what he
Yeah, we
always
got a
comes
dart
up with.
board, a BB gun. I'd literally take a BB gun, air powered BB gun, and I run around shooting gecko lizards. Them things produce so many lizards and these spiders. And
They grow fast too
yeah,
because we're in woods.
yeah. So I go around murdering lizards and murdering spiders.
That's
And yeah,
his
and
hobby.
you'd think I'd get caught up. It's you never get caught up with shooting them things, but it gives you accuracy. You know what I mean? It makes you where you obviously get a little bit of marksmanship.
Here's our conclusion.
Okay, Cebu can be beautiful and mentally draining at the same time. Both sides can be true.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, it's when I say beautiful, I ain't gonna say it's beautiful. When you go to the country area, it's got a certain beauty to it that depends on which area you're in because the soil here is shit. But go to the higher terrain areas, that's more where they do agricultural area. Any area along where you're seeing in this picture back here, you got to remember that's salt water. Okay, that's a bed of acid. So anything you're going to try to grow in reference to that sodium dries out just like anything else you would expect. And obviously, it doesn't really get in the air. I don't really feel it in that way, but like where we're at, we literally live on coral reef. So their dirt is shot. We had to bring in all the dirt. Then we had water problems. So all of our vegetation was dying, tomato plants and everything. So we couldn't bring nothing to term where we could make a decent harvest.
See, we attempted to actually live on the positives that we mentioned, the peaceful lifestyle, nature, even just in our house, lower stress, simpler living at the same time, right? There's no peace because we can't even build our own hobby of taking care of our plants, of our animals, because there's
Well, we could, but the thing is, you're talking about a lot of pipe systems, sensors, self-feeding, self-watering systems, and we have a bad problem. We'd have to do desalination, so it's outside the parameter of being feasible.
and we don't
So
have all that time to manually do everything.
yeah, yeah, and we could actually afford labor to come in and do the housework, but they don't last. They're getting paid exactly, getting paid more than most of the places they work for, but they're not going to stay. It's just the way it is. But anyways, that is the lid of our. I don't know how positive this came out, but that's our hit list when it comes to Cebu. Um, you know,
I'm sure a lot of expats agree about this because when you have the money, you just get tired of living the same routine, be having no activities around.
we try to go to islands, but you got to remember we got animals, so When we do it, we actually got to pay somebody to babysit them. You can't, even to take the animals from island to island. Explain how that works out. She probably remembers because she was doing the paperwork. I was just getting frustrated.
Bureaucracy is still alive in the Philippines. Even though there's no sense of them doing all the paperwork, it still exists. So if you have animals with you, good luck with that. If you can pay an individual or, have a nanny for your pets, just I would rather have that.
That's the reason we did that because it was we took Coffee. She's an Aspen. She's a native Filipino dog, right? But it was a lot to take her just when we went to
Leyte.
Leyte, which is her home island. So yeah,
No, no, Dumaguete. Also, a lot of places here are not pet friendly. So
yeah.
let's say you've already done all the paperwork for your animal, right? It'd still be a struggle for you to find a place that will allow you to have your dog with you.
You got to have a dog kennel and make sure they get water and they're fed every day, but they're out behind the building somewhere.
Yeah.
Try to even get them a shady spot. That's about the best you're going to do with that.
And I don't like that because if I was the dog, it's too much stress for me because I don't know the environment. It's dark. There are rats everywhere,
Let me tell you something. I'm going to throw something good in here. I love Coffee. She's a really great dog, but she's not financially, she's not profitable to bring her back to the United States. But she's smart. We were at a hotel and we took her for a walk. She pulled her little nappy head out of the leash, went all the way around the block. I was madder than hell. She starts her drama. And I was like, we done lost that dog. I was like, this may be in a relationship, but like, a hell with it. If she's going to cry over a dog and lose it, because she'll understand. United States, we murder animals straight out. We're going to eat them or whatever. They're not worth whatever it is. You don't just throw a dog out into the street or whatever it is, throw them in the street. That makes you a scumbag. You're better off killing the animal. But that being said, that dog took off and we were blocks away from the hotel. She found her butt straight back to the hotel. She was like, I mean, she was on it. Didn't miss a lick, didn't have to wait for it. She was there before we got there.
she run back to the hotel on
Yeah.
her own.
I didn't expect. I was like, that dog's gone. I was like, yeah, that dog's gone.
But we also brought her to one of the hotels where
Oh yeah,
um
we did. That was in Dumaguete for that
yeah,
one. See
and
how we're so connected? We know it scares both of us that we're so connected, but yeah.
um the cleaners didn't have to worry about my dogs or the room being, stinky because my coffee knows how to use the bathroom.
In the shower where I'm gonna go stand in there and take a shower. Yeah, that's a great place to take a crap.
Still didn't stink. She was pretty good with that's where she
My
pees.
crap don't stink. That's what you just heard her say. Okay.
That's where she pees and poos. She doesn't pee and poo everywhere in the hotel.
But she does. She goes to the bathroom. And
She's
the
strict.
room was actually nice. It was all tile floor. So if it was anything down on the floor, it would be an easy to clean up. And the bed was super comfortable. Oh my.
For those travelers or backpackers that have their dogs or cats, whatever. I forgot the name of the hotel. I think it's AA Airport or
Yeah, it
something.
was something airport.
In if you're going to Dumaguete, there are I think two or three hotels only, but that one was pretty good.
Yeah, I would have stayed there longer. I was
Yeah.
actually happy with it. And there was a guy down there, I don't know, I think he sold it, but he was making Mexican food. And I just recently saw a guy, Mexicans, man, y'all need to come here. I'm sorry, there ain't no Tex-Mex, there ain't no Mexican food. It is an open market for that. So if you can make really inexpensive food, in other words, take one shrimp, chop it into 50 pieces, slap it in between a damn whatever tortilla shell, you can make money here. But yeah,
Hmm.
there ain't no Mexican food
Oh,
here.
that Texan guy across Dumaguete
Yeah,
Airport.
that's what I'm.
Yeah, if you go there, that's like a hundred
Yeah.
percent
But that other
really
chef that
good.
was there the last time we went there, I was like, what the hell happened?
But I think he sold that place because he had to go back to not in the United States because he's actually American.
He works in the oil
Like
fields in like Kuwait or something, like something that great. But if you go to what's the name of the city over there in Leyte that we went to?
Tacloban.
Huh?
Tacloban.
Tacloban.
That's like the city of Lady.
There is an Italian restaurant up there that boy, if he was in the United States, it would be, I don't know what score it goes on, 1 to 5, 1 to 10 or whatever.
See how it's important if we take videos of these
Yeah, but we
places?
just started doing this because we're trying to get exposure of who we are. The way we generate our content or the way we generate our leads for our business is totally different. For truckdrivernation.com, if you want to be a work from home freight dispatcher. But that being said, that food, we ate there 2 days in a row. It was that good. And actually, because we were getting ready to leave, we would ate
Because
there three.
they're 110% actual Italian running their business.
Totally homemade. The sausages he has his own things. He has them made up and everything. Oh my gosh.
All,
Really?
all organic.
Yeah, absolutely. Wasn't no trash in that food.
You can see when they're making it like all pure, fresh.
Yeah, everything. It was excellent. I give it up to them.
For like over decades.
Yeah, been like 16 years or something.
I think it was 25 years
Was it
with him
25?
there. But that was pretty good.
Yeah, I was really surprised. I hope he's completely successful. I mean, I really thought a lot of that place.
The last time we were there, he had Italians with him. I think that was their family. But
Yeah, they gave one a kiss on the cheek, and I was like, yeah, they're gonna kill that one.
you can tell when they're Italian here if they're actually Italian. But so going back to these other places we went to, I don't think Philippines is that really bad, but if you're staying long like years and years, I guess it
You
applies.
know that I'm from Mississippi and Alabama, and I did not intend on staying here for years, but it sure the hell happened.
I think you get burnout wherever you are, like,
Yeah.
even if you're in Singapore, Thailand, you really get burned out.
Hong Kong will break your wallet. Okay. And Singapore, we've priced it more than once, and I think we're gonna be able to watch that on YouTube. Yeah.
So Cebu, you may want to just drop by, but I don't think it's fun or ideal to really live here.
Yeah.
I'm glad
Anything,
we didn't buy property.
yeah, if you want to take a takeaway from this, visit this. I don't think it's gonna be, and it's one of the bigger cities here, right? But I don't think it's gonna be one of the places you want to live at. And the way that Manila's set up, what makes it so rough is this,
It's
you've got an
more
island,
congested
and so
in
it
Manila.
floods everybody toward one side of it. But anyways, but that's all I got to say on this one. You got anything else?
No. Cebuano, don't be mad.
Oh, that's right, because she ain't from here. They got this thing, Cebuano, Tagalog, and Bisaya, and
So
it means something to them. You know,
Cebuano don't like people from Manila.
they're retarded. Man, in the South, we got our Southern slang. The Northerners got theirs, and so I guess it's kind of based on that rhythm. But but thing is, um, I've met some good people, but very few. That's the truth.
Maybe one. That's how few it is.
Yeah, it's very limited. And there's still that barrier culture thing that like I'm not feeling you type of deal. I mean, I know you're a good person, but I'm gonna be honest, on most of the expats and stuff, I ain't really got much to say about them. Most of them I've been disappointed. They still got the arrogant ways. I'm a Southerner. We're real, hey brother, what you doing? We'll talk and chit chat with you, but yeah. Like I tell people, some of those people you see from the United States are here, that's a bad representation of the quality of people, especially that come from the South. But anyways, that being said, I think that's got us. I done stirred up enough piss fire that everybody should at least you'll look at our website because now you're pissed off at me. Hey, you know what I mean? They always say every bit of publicity is good publicity, right? So let's see. But what else you got, bub?
Maybe this weekend, maybe we'll be going to Bohol. Maybe.
Yeah,
And hopefully we have good cameras. We just don't have the time to play around and actually explore outside Cebu than Manila. We're looking forward for Baguio. Hopefully at some point Bohol. That way, you can see what are the other sceneries of the Philippines, not
yeah.
just us sitting at home or sitting in cafes is what you actually.
But when you're out there doing it, you're on the move or it's hot. Like she literally is a vampire. She will haul ass from one side to the other just to get under some
It's
shade.
very hot, and as I said, I'm actually a house cat. It gets really hot. I get irritated. I get hives, rashes
Bad attitude, mood swings, psychological breakdowns.
because I get irritated in the heat.
And then I got to deal with it and go, I have to literally lie to myself. Oh, it's okay. It's just a moment. But on the other side, I'm wanting, if I didn't have to dig to that cold ass, hard ass coral rock that this island's made of, I'd bury her. But yeah, yeah. She's like, and the thing is, she think, like, even today, I'm whatever. She's like, she thought I was going to pause. I didn't do a crap. I didn't do it wrong. You know what I mean? She's having some mood swing because she's tired, and I feel her on it. We've been there before. But dude, you know what I mean? But the thing is, once you fall in love with her, you kind of got, you know what I mean? You're kind of hung with her.
Also, that if you're going out, have some sunscreen or maybe umbrella, or maybe go out not in the middle of the day because it
Yeah,
will burn your skin.
I would go dodge the middle of the day. That's what I would say. If you're going to go somewhere, go there and hide out till that sun goes past. Um,
Maybe about 4, no, not even 4, maybe 5 or 6 p.m.
yeah. But you got to get it in, be ready to go, be dressed and ready to go out the door by then
The thing
because
is,
everything closes down early.
yeah, the thing is 5 and 6 p.m. is usually the peak hours when,
Rush hour.
yeah, like people go out, and that's when the traffic starts.
And we are right there on the edge of the ocean where is a non-delivery zone. How screwed can you get?
We live in the woods.
Yeah.
Nobody delivers
It
here.
was hard to find this place, but the thing is, we're hid from everybody.
Yep.
Yeah.
So sunscreen, umbrella, or just the time adjustments
And
when you're
water.
going out. Water,
Take that water
definitely.
with you. But anyways, but that's all for me. I appreciate you guys entertaining. That QR code, if you hit it, it'll take you to Truck Driver Nation if you're interested in what we actually offer and learning how to be a freight dispatcher that can work from home and from in the United States. What else you got, babe?
We have webinars every Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Central Time. And if you're interested to join, simply send your email, the date of that Wednesday. Although it's every Wednesday, but other individuals are not available in that coming Wednesday. So put your date, email, and we'll know that you're asking to join that Wednesday webinar. Send it to 210-343-1118, or simply scan that QR
Mark.
code right there. Or send us an email, support@truckdrivernation.com. Website, truckdrivernation.com.
Thank y'all so much. Y'all have a great one. We appreciate your watching our video. Thank you. And like and subscribe.
I knew it.
I forgot about that part. We're learning. We're learning. Thanks, guys.